Hi, I'm Emma Francis doing Zoe Heath's feedback for ELN 302. So first off, the beginning page of the website, the home page, is very aesthetically pleasing. It's very pretty to look at, and it's also quite a good introduction page. It has a locations bar down the bottom where it shows you where the park that she's going to have her learning space at. How do you get there from wherever you are, has Google Maps. So she's used that resource. It's also got a picture of the park up here and shows where they will be working. She's also got a navigation bar over here. Now this is interesting because she has it written and also recorded. So this helps with students with visual impairment or anything like that, or kids who don't like reading on screens or anything. It's very helpful for that. I think that's an important thing we have to remember when presenting anything virtually, because not all students like to read off screens. Not all students like to read massive texts off screens. Not all adults like to. I think it's important to always have sound as an option, which I have also adopted. But I think that's very interesting. The only fault I could possibly say in this website is the recent post blog. I clicked on it and when I click into it, nothing comes up. So I don't know if that's still that's still being fixed, or maybe it's just a fault in the website. I'm not sure, but yes. So the second page, learning spaces, what are they, is very informative. I like how she's used two different theorists with a gap of about 5 years between them, to show how learning spaces and virtual learning spaces have changed over the past 5 years, which surprisingly isn't by a huge amount, but it's still the same sort of idea. So space, whether physical or virtual, and then down is Oblinger's theory can have an impact on learning. And then here it says we can't tweak the edges anymore by Littke. If you're teaching your kid at home, you wouldn't just sit them down and teach them science for 45 minutes. I'm paraphrasing. So I find that interesting that she's compared the two theorists, and they give different ideas on virtual and creative spaces. She's also got a large slogan in the middle, which is very engaging to an audience member like myself. It really brings us in, and it gives us a statistic. Like, a number of students have linked learning spaces in course design with student achievement, mastery, and retention. So it really shows that students need to be engaged in where they are, whether that be their bedroom or a park or the classroom. They need to be engaged and feel comfortable in that area so that they can create, which I find very interesting. She's also got recording at the top, which is very helpful because, again, someone like me might not like reading all the text, so that's also very helpful. Next page, the learning participants. I find this very good. I really like this page. It's aesthetically pleasing, but I can see how it would get overwhelming. And also, I think it needs to be said somewhere just at the top of the page that it is a slideshow, because I didn't really realise until just now when I clicked on it. So the slideshow does make it a little bit less overwhelming, so you can go through each one, read it, and you're not totally drawn to each different image because they're all so interesting to look at. But yeah, you should say that it's a slideshow instead of just having it there. But I guess that's for iPad users, because that's how I originally looked at the website, and now I'm looking at it on my laptop. So I'm seeing differences. But yeah, it's very aesthetically pleasing. The pictures are brilliant and they're relevant to what you're putting on there, which is excellent to see. Yes. Alright, next page. Oh, fancy. Now, again, we've got recording, which we didn't have on the last page. but there wasn't that much text, so it didn't really make a difference if there was recording. This one's very aesthetically pleasing. Again, all the pages are aesthetically pleasing. Like, she's got different fonts to show different points. She has pictures, and it's all very unique to look at, but it's also very in keeping with the blog theme. So here she talks about what kind of learning area she will be using in her learning experiences and how this is interesting. Oh, pardon me. Then she goes on to say about the redevelopment for creative writing in schools and why it's needed. So I like how you've gone through and used different theories and statistics for a majority of the who, what, where, and when, and how. I like how you spaced them out into who, what, where, when, how, because it's less intrusive on your eye, and it categorizes it. Again, you should probably say that you have a slideshow here, because I didn't realize until just now. And I like how there's different. I love how there's different pictures with different topics underneath, and how they're all backed up with some sort of reference or just common sense, really. But no, I really like that. So again, I would put that it's a slideshow instead of just having it there, because I wouldn't have noticed if I'm using an iPad or an iPhone or something. So now we get into the learning sequences. So Zoe has done 4 experiences, and everything has been hyperlinked. Everything has a number of different things that you can use within the lesson. So the first lesson, the only fault I can point into is how are they going to make a Wordle while they're at the park? Are they going to take an iPad, or are they going to have laptops, or are they going to come back into the school? So you might just want to clarify something of that. But then again, like, it's hard to say that in such a small amount of time. And we haven't really have any direction in how the lessons should be. So I cannot, that's just a small fault. I really do like all the lessons. I love the use of a classroom blog. That's really interesting, especially for stage 3. That's a really good thing to get them into doing. It also brings out the ICT. It is fantastic to see. Again, I love how you've got everything linked, and if I click, say, Fotovsky, it goes straight there, and the button to start creating. I'm going to assume that prior knowledge is used throughout all of these lessons, as do mine, I'm assuming. Like, it's all just very easy, and I love how you got the assessment underneath it, and it says how it's going to be done. So, say students are able to use ICTs to create their short stories. Actually, that's an indicator. Yeah, Zoe, the first one and the second one is good. I would look at the 4th lesson, because that's the one I was just looking at. You've got those as indicators instead of your actual assessment. Like, you've got students are able to use ICT to create a short story. Okay? How are you going to assess that? Alright, so that's the only, I think you might have just missed that, like, fair enough. That's okay. Everyone makes mistakes. And then the last one is the critical analysis. Now, this one is fantastic. The Powtoon was so fun to watch. I've never really seen a Powtoon before, and it was interesting. It had your voice in it again, and I see you're about to add another record section, which is fantastic, because it can also be seen as your critical analysis is wordy, like it's long critical analysis, but it's backed up by facts. It has, it's interesting to read, but I think once you add your recording to it, it will seem like a lot less, because I can read along, or I can skip to different parts if I want to. So I think that'll be a good addition to what you want. Now, the next part, Oh, okay. So I just clicked on the critical analysis's next page and it goes straight to the learning sequence, but the learning sequence in the home bar is before critical analysis. I don't know if this is intentional or not because I've just been pressing the top bar, but I'll start pressing the next page and see. Yeah, redeveloping goes to learning sequence and critical analysis also goes to learning sequence. So where does learning sequence go to? Learning sequence goes to the critical analysis. Yes, so critical analysis goes to learning sequence, Zoe. Might just want to check that. Maybe connect it to the feedback. That's what I've been doing. Anyway, references are all there. Can't fault those. And this is the bit I really do like at the end. You have your feedback, which is very interesting because I didn't think to do this. You have a section where it says, for any questions or feedback you may have, you can reach me here at zoe@gmail or by filling in this form. First off, this is just a little technical bit formatting. You might want to make the square that has the text on it a little bit bigger because form just goes straight under and it falls off the square. So just make the square a little bit bigger and then that'll be fine. And maybe make the picture a little bit bigger because send also falls off a bit. But it might just be my computer, I don't know. But it looks very nice. And then I see you've got a section for your peer feedback to go into once you're done. Anyway, I think I've got everything that I had to say. Yeah. Yeah, so overall it's a really good website. Oh yes. At the top it says global connections. I don't know if I've missed something. I probably have, and it's probably genius. But why is it called Global Connections? Because as far as I can tell, it's a local park, and you're doing a narrative, so I don't see the link between global. So that's just the one little error that I see. Yeah, overall it's fantastic. I love how you've got the lesson, everything set out. I love how you've made your own video compilation of how to do the lessons if I want to do them at home and I don't actually have to go to the park to do them. So that's good because it's not just formatted for stage 3. It's also for anyone who wants to do it at home, which is an interesting idea. Anyway, that's all. Thank you for listening and I hope you do well. Bye. Do a little dance.